Welcome to Palace Insider, where royal whispers turn into royal shocks. Prince Harry's daring escape plan has the entire monarchy holding its breath. Sources say he's ready to rescue Archie and Lilibet from what he called a toxic environment, sparking wild speculation across London. On February 14, 2026, during a quiet Oxford roundtable on heritage and fatherhood, Harry dropped a confession that stunned the royal press corps. He declared, "The royal guardianship protocol exists to protect Windsor children when their safety or future is in danger. And I know my Aunt Princess Anne would never abandon them. Not now, not ever." The room froze, but the impact was explosive. That old 19th century law, meant to protect royal heirs during wartime or abdication crises, was suddenly tied to Harry's own kids. Within minutes, royal analysts and legal insiders went into overdrive, claiming Harry was preparing to cut ties with Meghan Markle for good and place his children under royal protection. Speculation had already been heating up after their last joint outing on January 19, 2026, at the Dubai Global Media Partnership Summit. Witnesses said Meghan looked upbeat but distracted, while Harry seemed cold and distant. They reportedly left in separate cars. And that moment now looks like the silent end of a royal chapter. Just days later, whispers from the Montecito estate painted a stormy picture. Insiders revealed a heated argument erupted between Harry and Meghan over her business dealings in Doha and Dubai, allegedly using their children's names in upcoming product placements without his approval. By January 25th, Harry had already hired powerhouse attorney Laura Wasser, the same legal ace who once represented Kim Kardashian and Angelina Jolie. Wasser is known for her razor-sharp custody battles, and Harry's case was no exception. His stance was crystal clear. Meghan had emotionally checked out and was using their kids for her brand. By January 31st, Harry filed for emergency sole custody in Santa Barbara County, claiming Meghan spent over 60% of the past 3 months abroad. Evidence reportedly included flight logs and passport records. He also accused her of dissolving the children's trust fund, canceling their school and doctor visits, and secretly signing an NDA with a Qatari media backer to erase royal ties in her next project. As the court opened a tight 2-day review window, the monarchy wasted no time. On February 3rd, Princess Anne invoked the Royal Guardianship Protocol, summoning the Royal Child Welfare Council, joined by Prince Edward and Lord Hargrave, to take swift royal action. Princess Anne didn't waste a second. After reviewing Harry's documents, she voiced full support to launch custody protection procedures. By February 6th, under tightly sealed arrangements, Archie and Lilibet were quietly flown out of California and moved to a secured royal residence, believed to be the Oak Garden wing at Sandringham Estate. Their passports were instantly frozen through a special agreement between the UK Foreign Office and California Family Court. A shocking move that signaled just how serious things had become. All commercial deals using the kids' names or faces were instantly canceled under the Windsor Child Protection Compliance Act, 2023. Meghan was notified that every message or visit had to go through family lawyers and royal therapists. Then, on February 5th, Harry's attorney Laura Wasser filed an injunction banning Meghan from using their children's likeness, especially in any Middle Eastern or Asian business projects. By February 8th, Harry had filed paperwork to move the children's legal residence from California to Berkshire, linking them to a Windsor property for security. The very next day, he reached out to Prince William and Duchess Sophie, pushing to create a royal reconciliation committee to protect the kids' well-being. Harry even penned private letters to Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine, expressing deep regret over his broken marriage and pleading for their emotional support for his children. Putting titles and pride aside, Prince Harry made his next bold move on February 11th, petitioning the UK Home Office to reinstate his children's royal security classification, a privilege stripped away when the Sussexes left royal life in 2020. By February 14th, conditional approval was quietly granted, awaiting court confirmation. As of February 20th, sources confirmed that Archie and Lilibet remain under full Crown guardianship review, safe and stable within royal grounds, surrounded by familiar faces under therapeutic supervision. But while calm seemed to settle in Britain, new drama was exploding across the Atlantic. Just as Meghan Markle was denied entry to Paris Fashion Week, sparking viral talk of a silent blacklist in elite circles, a new wave of royal controversy erupted. In California, insiders say Harry's every move was strategically timed, reinforcing his image as a devoted father and wronged son fighting to protect his kids, no matter the cost. Behind the scenes, Meghan's emotional breakdown caught by paparazzi drew temporary sympathy, yet Harry was quietly rewriting the narrative. On February 7th, before much of this even hit the tabloids, he had already filed a sealed motion in Los Angeles family court, setting the stage for a courtroom storm that could redefine the royal family's modern legacy. Prince Harry's sealed motion sought emergency clarification of their joint custody terms, accusing Meghan of making major decisions without his approval. The filing claimed she pulled Archie and Lilibet from their California school earlier in February and allegedly tried to move them abroad under the excuse of media protection. Harry argued this not only broke their private co-parenting deal, but also violated the Windsor Accords custodial protocol, signed during their royal exit. But insiders say these legal moves were just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the paperwork, Harry's actions hinted at a deeper plan already in motion. Sources at Clarence House confirmed that in late January, Harry had quietly reached out through Prince Edward's office, proposing a child-first reintegration clause. This would have allowed Archie and Lilibet to visit the UK under royal supervision, without Meghan's consent. Though initially rejected, it showed Harry was preparing for a full separation long before the world knew. Adding to the tension, leaked school records revealed Harry visited the Montecito campus twice in late January. Witnesses said he looked emotional and anxious, asking whether any sudden withdrawals had been made or records altered. It was clear he feared something was happening behind his back, and he wasn't about to let his children slip away quietly. Meghan's request to withdraw the children reportedly came less than 48 hours after Harry's campus visit, and from that point, everything escalated fast. On February 2nd, Harry activated a dormant child protection trust originally set up in 2021, naming Archie and Lilibet as sole beneficiaries and transferring £7.5 million into the fund. The trust strictly bans using any of the money for media deals, image licensing, or brand appearances before the kids turn 18, a direct challenge to Meghan's expanding commercial empire. Then came something far more emotional: a leaked voicemail allegedly sent to Lady Louise Windsor. In the unreleased recording, Harry's voice cracked with desperation as he said, "If anything happens to me, please tell them I tried. Tell them I did everything I could to get them out. I'm not the perfect father, but I'm not letting them become pawns." The message spread across royal circles like wildfire. But the most shocking revelation came next: DNA and medical record requests. Insiders claimed Harry sought updated tests for both children through a private doctor, citing inheritance concerns linked to the Queen Elizabeth II succession fund. Buckingham Palace refused to comment, but Meghan's camp was furious, calling the move paranoid and proof of institutional manipulation. Even so, not everyone bought Harry's sudden burst of fatherly fire. Critics pointed out how his dramatic legal and emotional maneuvers came right after Meghan's public setbacks, from her Paris Fashion Week exclusion to her solo brand deals in Dubai, leading many to wonder if this was heartfelt protection or a royal power play in disguise. Was Prince Harry truly fighting for his kids, or just rebranding himself ahead of a royal-sized divorce? Even Princess Anne, never one to hold her tongue, allegedly told confidants, "He wants the children when the cameras are gone." But where was that courage when they were being weaponized online and in courtrooms? Her blunt words echoed through royal circles. Meanwhile, opinions inside Meghan's Hollywood circle were split. One insider close to her claimed, "Harry's plan is obvious: distance himself from the brand chaos, act like a royal again, and use the kids as leverage." But he forgets who built that brand in the first place. Without Meghan, there's no Sussex empire to walk away from. Yet others within the Royal Child Welfare Committee quietly viewed Harry's actions differently, as a genuine step toward institutional healing. They noted his recent choices follow classic Windsor protocol, where royals made public sacrifices to protect their children's image during family breakdowns. Maybe, just maybe, Harry is finally realizing what legacy truly means. But at the heart of this royal storm are still Archie and Lilibet, two innocent children caught between countries, contracts, and the chaos of their parents' fight for control. This royal saga isn't just personal anymore, it's geopolitical. Archie and Lilibet's names are now buried deep in trust clauses, court filings, and palace war room agendas. Their futures, royal or rejected, being debated by forces far beyond their reach. Meanwhile, in Montecito, the once glamorous Sussex mansion now feels eerily quiet. The lawns are unkept, cameras removed, and staff reportedly furloughed. Insiders whisper that Harry sleeps in a separate guest wing, away from Meghan's quarters. Some say he's barricading. Others say he's preparing to walk away for good. One thing's certain, Harry isn't reacting anymore. He's strategizing. For the first time in years, his moves aren't about Meghan. They're about legacy. But the real shock didn't come from Meghan's latest misstep. It came straight from Harry himself. In a move that blindsided the British press, Harry authorized the release of a sealed dossier known internally as the Archie files to the Royal Household Child Welfare Committee, chaired by Princess Anne. Palace insiders say the packet contained DNA affidavits, medical files, and private emails, all verified by royal legal teams, that directly contradicted claims Meghan had previously made about Archie's health, lineage, and schooling. According to two senior palace sources, Harry's explosive decision was fueled by a mix of duty and emotional exhaustion, marking one of the most daring and controversial actions a modern royal has ever taken. For years, Prince Harry had defended Meghan's story, that the royal family mistreated Archie and that bias and security fears drove their dramatic exit. But rising tension between the couple and growing pressure from King Charles and Princess Anne pushed Harry to finally face what was really happening behind palace doors. Among the shocking findings was a pattern of manipulation. Meghan had allegedly changed Archie's school enrollment multiple times without Harry's consent, claiming it was for brand repositioning and strategic exposure. One leaked email to her business manager reportedly read, "If we can get footage of Archie with X sponsor label, we can push the exclusivity narrative next season." A royal investigator called it turning Archie into a media chess piece. In a private letter to Princess Anne, later leaked, Harry confessed, "If I cannot protect my children from strategic exploitation, then I have failed. Not just as a father, but as a Windsor. I submit myself to royal oversight." Insiders said the message carried exhaustion more than rebellion, and that Prince William met it with quiet relief. Princess Anne, long known as the enforcer of royal integrity, called an emergency meeting of the Royal Welfare Committee and activated Clause 7 of the Windsor Custodial Charter, a rare provision granting the Crown temporary authority over disputed royal heirs. This powerful clause hadn't been used since 1936, during Edward VIII's abdication crisis, when royal custody became a constitutional flashpoint. News outlets across Britain aired archival clips of King George VI invoking the same clause, juxtaposed with modern footage of Anne arriving at Sandringham for the urgent session, a striking visual echo of royal history repeating itself. Meanwhile, Meghan's team lashed out, claiming the leaked documents were twisted out of context and accusing Harry of acting under pressure. They denounced Clause 7 as a colonial-era control tactic, but their argument collapsed fast. A second leak exposed that Meghan had attempted to move Archie and Lilibet to a private media compound in the UAE, where Western custody laws wouldn't apply. The revelation set off a transatlantic firestorm. U.S. child advocates questioned how she could alter residency without Harry's consent, and the Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services confirmed an active inquiry into interstate custodial irregularities involving the Sussex children. Back in the UK, Harry's bold shift suddenly earned him something no one expected: a wave of quiet royal solidarity. Lady Louise Windsor, once neutral in royal matters, broke her silence with a heartfelt message. The duty of a parent is not to amplify their child's image, but to protect their personhood. I admire my cousin for acting with courage. Her quiet endorsement carried immense weight. Meanwhile, Princess Catherine, still recovering from treatment, made no official comment, but cameras captured her holding Princess Charlotte's hand at a children's advocacy gala. That tender image filled British headlines, sharply contrasted with photos of Meghan attending a Dubai luxury branding event alone. Then came the remark that shook royal circles. Queen Camilla, during a private Windsor reception, was caught by lip readers saying to Duchess Sophie, "He finally chose the children over the circus. Pity it took this long." The quote spread like wildfire. The aftermath was brutal. Netflix reportedly froze development of Archway, the Sussex family legacy project, and 2 streaming contracts, including one tied to children's content, were suspended pending custody resolution. Even British Parliament stepped in, debating whether dual national royal minors could inherit titles without a formal ethical upbringing declaration under royal law. For Harry, the price of truth was double-edged. In giving up control of the public story, he won moral credibility but lost the brand that defined his post-royal life. The world no longer saw the rebel prince escaping palace coldness, but a heartbroken father trying to repair years of silence and regret. The media dubbed it the undoing of Harry by Harry, but inside the palace, whispers carried a different phrase. The redemption protocol has begun. The fourth act of this royal saga didn't start with a speech, but with a missing document that sent shockwaves from Santa Barbara to Sandringham. Just days after withdrawing Archie and Lilibet from their California school without warning, Meghan Markle failed to submit the required joint custodial travel disclosure under the Windsor Accord. That single omission triggered a hidden clause known as the Royal Guardianship Override, a powerful mechanism few outside royal circles even knew existed. Princess Anne, acting as Lord High Steward and interim head of the Royal Child Welfare Committee, immediately called for an emergency review of the children's custody and legal protections. The meeting was held inside Windsor Castle's King George VI suite, a chamber reserved for royal crises. Present were Prince William, Duchess Sophie, Lady Louise Windsor, and two senior crown lawyers. And their focus wasn't Meghan. It was the children. By then, officials had compiled a long list of custodial violations, failing to disclose school changes, refusing to provide updated residence information, and even displaying erratic on-air behavior during a live stream later flagged by Ofcom. Inside the palace, the tone was clear. This was no longer about image. It was about protection, accountability, and the next generation of Windsors. Insiders revealed the turning point came when MI5 liaison officers presented surveillance footage showing Meghan meeting privately with foreign media executives in Qatar. The alleged topic? Exclusive rights to the children's upbringing, future interviews, and even a heritage brand tied to their names. The classified dossier, summarized only for senior royals, set off alarm bells about international custody and exploitation risks. During the tense meeting, Princess Anne read from a declaration dated February 6, 2026. The Crown cannot, in good conscience, remain passive when the safety, stability, or development of royal minors is endangered. The interests of the children must come before all else. Her words marked the moment everything changed. Within hours, the palace activated the Royal Guardianship Override, a rarely used but legally binding power rooted in Queen Victoria's Special Minor Protection Act. Though ceremonial in appearance, it granted the monarchy direct authority to intervene in cases of proven instability or neglect, something never before applied in the digital era. Quietly updated in 2022 with King Charles's approval, the law gave full legal standing to this unprecedented step. Prince William co-signed the endorsement, while Duchess Sophie was appointed interim custodial liaison, a role similar to a royal child ombudsman. Although Princess Catherine wasn't formally part of the committee, palace sources said she fully supported the decision and spent over 3 hours that night in private talks with William, discussing how to ensure Archie and Lilibet's long-term safety and emotional recovery. It was Lady Louise Windsor who made the boldest proposal of all, speaking with a calm mix of empathy and conviction. She suggested that Archie and Lilibet be placed in a transitional guardian home within the UK, away from the glare of cameras, legal turmoil, and parental tug-of-war. Having grown up balancing royal duty and privacy, Louise argued the children needed space to just be children, not media pawns in a global custody feud. Her proposal, later leaked to The Times, was hailed as a rare act of emotional intelligence within royal politics. But across the ocean in California, Harry was blindsided. A close aide said he thought Meghan's sudden withdrawal of the kids was just branding maneuvering, not a trigger for a full royal intervention. When Harry learned the royal guardianship override had been activated, he reportedly called Clarence House in a panic, begging for an emergency video meeting with King Charles. The answer came back cold. The king, already fully briefed, refused the call. Instead, he sent a curt written message. The children's welfare now lies beyond private discretion. The Crown has acted. You may cooperate or forfeit further voice. The symbolism hit like a hammer. The man once seen as the rebel prince fighting for freedom was suddenly painted as the absent father, trapped in the chaos of his wife's missteps. While Meghan, now isolated and losing allies fast, faced the crumbling of the empire she helped build. Meghan's PR team scrambled as the story spun out of control. In the UK, hashtags like #ProtectArchie and Lilibet and #Royal Guardianship dominated feeds, while headlines across Europe asked, "Should royal blood guarantee royal protection?" The Crown's stance was clear. This wasn't about titles or fame anymore, but the safety of two Windsor children. As Harry battled emotional and legal chaos, Meghan was half a world away in Dubai, presenting herself not as a duchess, but as a sovereign woman under the sleek banner of her new brand. Surrounded by wealthy investors and digital moguls, her event was meant to signal reinvention. But the timing was disastrous. News of Archie and Lilibet's sudden school withdrawal broke mid-event, and footage of Meghan smiling under chandeliers was spliced with images of empty classrooms and crying children. Overnight, the world turned. Her rebirth became a PR implosion. Just days earlier, Meghan was overheard saying, "Let William and Anne figure it out. I'm not sacrificing my company's momentum for another tantrum." Verified by two audio experts, the clip exploded online. Former allies, from feminist scholars to talk show hosts, turned fast, with one viral post blasting, "You can't preach empowerment and abandon your kids." Behind the scenes, panic erupted. Her PR team launched emergency cleanup efforts, influencers deleted brand promos, and a Dubai sponsor froze its deal pending review. Even one supportive US media began hinting that Meghan's motives were more profit than principle. Meanwhile, Princess Anne convened another Child Welfare Committee meeting. The report accused Meghan's overseas branding, especially her Desert Bloom fragrance, of violating Windsor custody terms and harming her children's well-being, prompting urgent legal action in California. The order accused Meghan of using royal symbols and language without authorization, turning her Dubai triumph into a PR catastrophe and legal storm. Even her closest celebrity allies began posting cryptic notes about loyalty and boundaries. The once commanding voice of Meghan Markle had fallen silent, and in that silence, the world remembered Archie and Lilibet, now symbols of a painful question. When ambition clashes with parenthood, what survives? Fame or family? By February 7, 2026, the fallout was brutal. FBI reports hinted at sealed court files, tax issues, and unregistered transfers tied to Archwell. The next morning, Lord Alistair Pembroke stepped to the royal lectern, reading a historic decree. Effective immediately, Prince Henry Charles Albert David is no longer recognized as His Royal Highness. The monarchy had spoken, and shut the chapter for good. The final blow came fast. Prince Harry's royal titles, military honors, and hereditary privileges were fully stripped. Meghan wasn't mentioned, but insiders confirmed a sealed clause under the Windsor Protocol quietly finalized custody changes for Archie and Lilibet, locking their status under royal protection. Prince William and Princess Anne reportedly pushed for the timing, with William insisting, "So long as ambiguity exists, the monarchy's credibility remains hostage. That ends now." Public reaction was fierce. Supporters hailed it as a rescue mission, not rejection, while Sussex loyalists accused the palace of cruelty and hypocrisy. But behind the noise, the Crown moved with silent precision. The Sussex chapter officially closed. The gates are locked, the titles erased, and the royal message is crystal clear. The monarchy never blinks, it endures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into royal turmoil, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next explosive Palace Insider story.